Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've been with you guys, especially doing some content like this. I've been away doing some personal life stuff. I've been studying and we've been moving house. There's loads of stuff been going on. But I'm feeling like I'm back in the driving seat with a bit of Masters content. I've been playing a fair amount over the last few months. I've been doing a bit of casting with Damien over on the Lookout. And it's been a hell of a lot of fun. So I wanted to jump back in and do a few more bits of content like this where I'm like talking to you guys and giving a bit more like of a kind of meta-analysis style video. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the top 16 deck lists from the latest online regional run by OPE. Me and Damien from the Lookout were on the cast for this event. We had 6 rounds. It was a great amount of fun. I think we had about 42 or 46 players in the end for this. And I'm just going to give you a couple of like thoughts on the deck lists. I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts on like where the meta's at in general ahead of Madrid, which is coming up this weekend. So if you're a fan of this kind of stuff and you are enjoying this, please do leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good shit, because it's going to help us kind of reach more people and start getting out into the community a bit more. So please help your boy out. It's been a hot minute. Also, just hopping in here as well, just to quickly say a huge shout out to the guys at Top Deck Diffusion. This is the website I've been using to go through the lists. They are super quick at collating all of the data from tournaments. They're like on the ball as soon as the tournament finishes, collecting lists, putting all this data together, and that allows me to bring you videos like this. So a huge shout out to the guys over there. Bruno Milano, amazing player, great guy running this website as well. So and the rest of the team over there as well. So huge thank you to you guys. So jumping right in here, we are going to start with first place. First place is Ivan Serrano. I got a lot of love for Ivan. Great guy, amazing player. You can see from like the amount of tournaments he's won, European winner, all that good stuff. And he took down the tournament on Blue Bulma. So Blue Bulma is really having a kind of like coming out party at the moment. It was decent last format, but particularly this format is really taking off. It's not shackled behind green. Boo. A couple of things I really like about Ivan's list at the moment. So we're seeing the Bulma SCR to start off with. This is becoming like reasonably standard. There's things like the Pan SCR as well, but the extra ramp early is really important because your biggest lose condition playing as Bulma is anything aggressive. So I like the extra draw. I like the extra ramp here as well. 3 trunk, like all the good stuff that you expect from Bulma is in here. You've of course got the Yamcha. I was really interested in the Yamcha because there's 3 Yamcha in the main, 1 in the side. I'm intrigued by the rationale behind that, but it's possibly one of the most busted cards in the deck, the Yamcha. And of course the feature rare. The feature rare is the concept rare even. This is what's been like kind of added to Bulma recently, with the amount that it ramps after your Earthlings die. You can easily sit there burning for 5 life to finish your opponent off. You can stick this down on 3. All the concept rares are busted. Like that's just a flat out thing. All the concept rares are busted. But yeah, nothing too untoward. A lot of white respect. You're going to see so much white respect in all of these like main and side decks. So looking at this like Tonjika Z battle here, this is like not only a white respect, but also like a Bio Broly respect as well, because it will hide Bio Broly. It's a way around just like, you know, not having to like awkwardly play a bunch of cards and letting them boost, whether they're playing just red or whether they're playing white cell as well. Other than that, pretty standard stuff really. Great player, great list. Congratulations. Okay, so second place, you've got Ivan Carrillo. We're doubling up on the Ivans here. And this is the red-blue Androku, I believe is how he calls it, Androku list. Basically, the idea is, if you haven't seen this, this is a shout out to Brad. This is a Brad brainchild right here. I believe him and Ivan worked on this list together. Basically, it's like filtering. You filter out using these extra cards here. You're doing a hell of a lot of stalling, basically. You're doing a hell of a lot of defensive plays. in order to like kind of hit win cons such as like your baby SCR. You've also got your 5-drop, the Catastrophic Blow, which is also a burn card. Your concept rare is a burn card. So there's a lot of kind of like stall you out, win via attrition going on with this list. One thing that like is so important to point out here is power release. So power release is down here. This came out in BT31 for 1 energy, activate battle, draw a card, give something 15k, and then if you give it to a Saiyan, you minus something by 5k. So 20k's worth of combo power effectively for 1 energy, and your leader lets you activate it from the drop as well. That in itself is like a crazy amount of value for the deck. And then you've obviously got all the red-blue shenanigans, like your Senzu being in your Beerus that untaps all your energy and lets you use all of those defensive extra cards as well. We saw the baby SCR on the stream put in a shit ton of work. It's a really, really powerful card. Boosting your leader by 10k with all of like the Senzus and the extra cards as well, like is as good as like your turns over when this SCR is played. It also crits a life, so like crit life, no crit life won't make them take a life, but like take a life, and then also sides decks this 6-drop Goku, which would also make them take another life when used in conjunction with Caplo as well. So yeah, really creative list. I love seeing dual colours get splashed before next set, where we're obviously going to see dual colours all over the gaff, but great list again. Really, really well done to Ivan Carrillo for the 2nd place and the really imaginative deck. Damien will be utterly furious with our 3rd place finisher. This is Darian Schmidt's Warp Gogeta deck. This deck has been around for ages. It feels like it's been so long. It's had these huge hits like on the ban list, or like got generic cards in black hit, and it still survives to see another tournament, another huge win. Warp Gogeta's effect is just so generically powerful that you can just slop a bunch of like black and red cards that are generically good with a couple of bits of the engine. Like the 4-drop Goku is still crazy. This 4-drop's still designed to work with the deck as well, where the like combo untap one. And it is just generic good stuff. Obviously the concept rare, you'll see the concept rares in like pretty much every list one way or another, whether it's main or side. The ability to burn a life is just too strong. But otherwise, this is a pretty kind of like standard red list, like moves away from a lot of like the black-red stuff that we were seeing. Maybe only ever charges 1 black energy, and I quite like that swap because it's a bit more consistent. I can imagine some of these more like red-black builds getting quite clunky, trying to find like the right time to charge a double black energy. But this really literally wants to charge 1 black energy so it can Tenacious, so it can Z extra, and that's kind of all it wants to do, because this Goku's colourless, everything else is red as well. So yeah, not too much else to say. A very strong list, very strong leader, and congratulations to Darian. Oh, one thing I will note as well here. You see this baby Janemba in the side deck? You're going to see an awful lot more of that as well. I think every red deck is playing at least 2 copies of this in the main or side. It is a huge anti-Bulma tech. It will minus everything with a keyword skill by minus 5k. And also negates all keyword skills, so you turn off their Yamchas and all their 1-drops as soon as they give them blocker will die a death. Any of them with deflect die as well. Really, really powerful card, and you'll see a lot of that. And also, again, the white respect here with the Gohan in the side deck as well. A lot of people scared of getting Gohan Gotenks SCR'd. Down to 4th place, you've also got Evan Lovanchi with Eos. Seems to be our like 4th place slot is just we give it to Evan before the tournament, and after that, like, yeah, he just gets to have 4th place automatically. The next step is 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Even we believe in you. This is a pretty standard Eos list, really. It's got this this good old like kind of Namekian Rose package for the warp. 1 concept rare, you're going to see it in so many as well. And I don't see anything in here which is too like unstandard. I see Cumbra as the SCR. I really like this choice. I see a lot of lists are on Vegito. Vegito is great, it's free play and whatnot, but I think the life burn for Evil Saiyan is just so powerful, especially because like you know, one turn you can Evil Saiyan, next turn you can Concept Rare. Like, you don't even have to interact with your opponent and you can burn 2 life. It's really powerful. Respecting White again in here. Trying to see if there's anything else really out of the ordinary, especially in the sideboard as well, like the Jiren, disrespecting Turning the Tide. Perhaps it's used against something else at the moment as well, but yeah, basically like a pretty solid list here from Evan on EOS. 5th place is Team Fusion Force's latest team member, Bastian Denakis, also known as Jerome. I'm probably saying that wrong. Yeah, he's piloted Threeharm BT19 to a 5th place finish. I'm going to take up some space to yap about this for a second. I absolutely love this. And the reason I love it is this is like Masters in a nutshell for me. Like, guys taking their like pet deck, their like favorite leader from a bygone era, like this is BT19, this is like 12 sets old now, adding new cards to it, testing it out in the meta. Like, this clearly wasn't going to work in Boo format very well. Like, Boo was ridiculous. But, you know, kind of identifying when your pet deck is going to be good again, coming into the meta, testing it out, refining it, and getting the finishes that back it up. I am not going to go into too much depth with this deck. It looks like a hell of a lot of fun. But Bastian has done a deck profile on this already. It's a good 20-minute watch. Gives you the ins and outs behind the decisions, how the deck operates, what you might need to do to pick up the deck yourself. So just go into the description and watch that. That is a much more worthwhile than me trying to give any kind of justice to this list, but it looks really strong for all it matters. 6th place is Andre Monteiro. This is a Seimu. We saw him on stream so many times. Congratulations for your finish today, lovely chap. And he's playing the new Vegito list, the Black Vegito deck. And again, like, I think this is, I kind of said it on the cast, and this is a deck that has, like, flown under the radar. EOS was taking up so much room and space out of the new set, same to an extent with, like, Red Gogeta, that we kind of forgot about this. And we've all been using the most powerful cards from this strategy in our black decks, but, like, not actually using it in the deck itself. So you've got this 8-drop Vegito, which is absolutely absurd. We know how good Crimson Limit, Ultra, Sonic Breaker, Vegito, however you call its name is. We know how strong this card is as well. But this deck gets to put these guys down for 1 energy after they're aggressing with a 7-drop, and you've got to have the corresponding 7-drop in play to evolve, Zeno evolve into the 8-drop. So even as early as turn 2, we were seeing like dual attacks from this guy, double strikes from this guy. You have to have 3 energy to have their effects live, but it was still like really cool to see. Outside of like kind of the main engine pieces, also United Against Time, you can actually use the other effect of this in this deck, so it plays out a 7 cost with its skills negated. So you're not just using this to buff your leader by 5k, you can set up one of these 7-drop guys to make another 8-drop guy afterwards. This is a really cool deck, not a massive hand size, but it was really cool to see it in action. I think it was catching a few people off guard. I'd be really interested to hear a bit more from Asemu about the list and like kind of how he came to it. But yeah, it looks to me like good solid engine, good black cards. You've got Bardock in here, you've got counterplays in here, you've got Tenacious, and of course the Vegito SCR as well that like kind of meshes with the deck really well. We saw Asemu pulling this out the stream multiple times, and it seemed to put in the work as well for him. So yeah. Huge congratulations here for Asemu and this Vegito list. Next up, 7th place is Danio, and Danio is playing Panzino. Now, we've seen the Panzino lists everywhere, right? We've seen Panzino for the last year or so. It got a slap on the wrist by Bandai to get rid of this 4-drop Trunks you see as a 1 cost in here, because it was getting a little bit out of hand. Unfortunately, the set after the ban, what Bandai did is print this silly card, and this is Cronoa and Eos. It's an Overwhelm 4 that you like discard a warp card, and then you add back 2 Overwhelm 4s from your warp, and it's not leader locked for some reason. And then it gives a card 5k for the turn. So you can just keep on cycling this back anyway. So it was never limited anyway. Like, it basically just kind of like limited to one, but you can keep on EOS and cycling it back anyway. Other than that, you're seeing all the standard stuff you're used to seeing from aggressive Panzino. One thing I'll also point out about this EOS and Quinoa as well is that your main guy, this Gohanzi battle card, a lot of people are side decking stuff like Energy Power Release Ball in black, Wolfang Fist in red to like kill it on attack. But the EOS Overrealm gives it an extra 5k. So that means that Energy Release Ball in black doesn't work on it anymore. Wolfang will only reduce it to -5, and they've got to find another way of minusing through barrier to kill it. And then it's going to gain all of its attack for all your Z costs on the board and go up to be a huge swing anyway. So this was like, for some reason, not leader locked and a completely crazy buff for Panzino. So expect to see more of it. You've obviously got legends like winning every tournament in the US with this at the moment as well. So don't be surprised if you are matching up against Pan, and come prepared for Pan. 8th place, and a very common leader that we've seen in this tournament, especially online. Like, you know, people want to end games really quickly. They don't want to be like sat around online, especially if it's like hot and stuffy wherever they are. This is Yele. This is Goku Zeno. Love Yele, really sound guy. He absolutely destroyed me in Bristol on Panzino as well when I was playing Green Bojack. Opting for a slightly even more aggressive strategy now with Goku Zeno. What has changed about Goku Zeno in this format? So there's a few things. Concept rare's there again. Of course, concept rare. Like that, you're going to see this in everything. It's a burn of life guy. And in black in particular, it's crazy. Because what you do is you can go on 3 energy, swing. He gains a marker on swing combo a card from the drop, right? So you go to 4 markers. And if you've got the second one in hand, you go to 5 markers, you burn a life. So you can burn a life with this in black turn 3. And if you're hyper aggressive and you spend turn 1, turn 2 just battering your opponent, that's going to be crazy. So 2 concept rare is a really, really good play here in Goku Zeno. It's also gained a bunch of defensive tools as well. Like, normally everyone would categorize this deck as like a bit of a glass cannon, but being able to go, oh, you floodgated me, here's a Vegito in response, 4 Rose to bump your leader by 5k, 3 United Against Time to bump your leader by 5k, and 4 counterplays to, you guessed it, bump your leader by 5k. So you can have turns where you're like 25, 30k base after you've just swung like 12 times at them. That, I think, is what we were seeing so much of this deck in the format at the moment, because it's super easy to pick up. You've got to learn a bit of sequencing when it comes to the overarms, but you can really like unga bunga swing at your opponent. And when you're a great player like Yelly here as well, like you can take it to the next level with your sequencing and plays. It's a crazy deck, and if you're looking for something, like say if you're like kind of getting into the game a bit more at this stage, like this is a really good place to start, because although there's a bit to work out when it comes to the overwhelming, like being able to just like do so much and swing face with so many things is good fun, and you can get really good results with the gameplay loop as well. So other than that, not too much to say. This Majin Buu, what is this Majin Buu here? We're going to go and find out. Here we go. If your leader is black or your energy is black, I think this is like the discard 1 warp 2, is it? You may choose 1 black card from your hand, discard it if you do draw 2 cards. So like basically like a +1 but from the drop, perhaps like a more like kind of attrition based side deck card. Really interesting. I've not seen that Boo in so long. So yeah, congratulations to Yellow. This is a solid old Goku Zeno list. And spoiler alert, we're going to be looking at a few more. 10th place is sweet Brad. Great guy and a real like a real community champion for us here in the UK. Coming up in 10th place with Red Gogeta. Massive congratulations to Brad. In a similar vein to Bastion as well earlier, there is going to be a deck profile in the description. Brad has yapped on this deck for about 40 minutes. It gives you all the in-depth behind the decisions, the matchups, everything you need to know about Red Gogeta is in there. So it's not really too much for me to go over here. From a kind of like meta overview, Red Gogeta seems to be picking up steam. We're seeing a few more people kind of hop onto the deck. I think it aggroes super early. The decision you've got to make as well is like, say if you're on the Red Gogeta SCR instead of the Broly, you can go even harder with the aggression. But Cutthroat also kind of just like on turn 4 will kind of immediately end the game. 9 times out of 10, it's a very difficult to answer. It's going to take an answer that you have to out of your hand. It's going to bump all your combo power. It's going to wipe their board, ignoring barrier. Like, it's very, very strong anyway. But yeah, I think looking ahead to like Madrid and stuff like that, be prepared for Red Gogeta, because I think more and more people are going to get on board with it. They're going to pick it up and they're going to start playing it. So if your deck struggles, like kind of turn 2, turn 3 aggro pushes, be prepared. Get some sideboard cards involved. Get some early floodgates in here as well. I mentioned Red Janemba earlier when we were looking through one of the decks. It's here again, and it's in the main deck. So, you know, players already thinking about Bulma that won the event. They're already thinking about how they can counter it. And also an overall solid card as well. So keep an eye out for the Baby Janemba. Keep your eye out for Red in general. I think it has a great matchup, especially if it's aggressive into Bulma and into Black as well. This deck in particular plays really well into Black because you can replace cards in the warp, put them back into the drop, and like play through a Black Vegito a lot of the time. Of course, the concept rare here as well to like kind of help you do that, and an entire Z deck of Unisons to help you get through that as well. I say that there is literally 2 in here, but yeah, Shenron and Jiren to help you push through any kind of like floodgates. 11th place, the year is 2026, and David Serrano is still turning up with Expert Deck Cell, and he's still putting up the results with Expert Deck Cell. Absolutely lovely chap. Big shout out to David. This is insane that this deck's still topping at the moment. Like, this is like effectively a BT17 leader. This came out before like the Z deck was a thing. But David is still here adapting the list and making it work, and I absolutely love what he's doing with this list. This is the only green deck in the whole of the top 16. Boo has really fallen off. I think green as a colour in general really suffers to Vegito, and green Boo in particular suffers to black 8-drop Vegito. But it's great to see a green deck in the top 16 here. And specifically a green deck that hand controls massively as well. I love any deck that has Bardock, Unison, and Fury in it. You see this, the Kamehameha, the Android 18 super combo, Parunga, Mirror, Successor 8-drop. Everything is like discard, discard, discard in this. And I think what David is doing is targeting like kind of some of these black decks with like a lower hand size. Really with this kind of list, and like relying heavily on the Unison. Like black kind of struggles to interact with a Unison as well, especially if you back it up with a Dormant and a Homicidal Clones, which you can do very easily as soon as turn 2 once you've awakened. That's really good. And one thing I really want to highlight about this list, and I absolutely love this, is that he's gone for Mirror over here. And you're probably looking at this Mirror going, why isn't it Tower? He's missing the 5k boost on the leader. The leader boosts itself by 5k. That's broken. It is. But your leader specifies you have to put an android underneath to draw on the front side and on the awakened side. And what happens in this deck is you run out of androids quickly and start losing draws. So what he's done is pick the Mirror, because Mirror is an android, and it doesn't need to be a green android. He could just put the Mirror underneath. So it's actually a really cool consistency pick to go for the Mirror here as well. So yeah, really cool deck building over here. Concept over in the side deck again as well. They're in everything at the moment. You're going to hear me say that so many times. But I really dig this list. I think it's a really overlooked green deck. Just because David's the only guy turning up with it doesn't mean that you shouldn't turn up with it as well. Great list, and congratulations to David. 12th place, I don't have too much to say about this, guys. This is a Krillin list. We've seen Krillin lists before. You know the general game plan with Krillin. We're getting to 5 energy, and we are triple Kamehameha-ing thingy over here, and we're almighty resistancing, and we're triple strike killing. I don't think this has got anything from the latest set. I think this is all BT29 stuff. You've obviously got the Vegito to add an extra like kind of win con in here. It can untap itself. It's a triple strike dual attacker effectively. But otherwise, this is the usual Krillin game plan from when Krillin was at the top of the meta. This is play a lot of extra cards, play very defensively, draw a lot of cards, and get yourself to that win condition of Almighty Resistance plus Triple Strike or Almighty Resistance plus Vegito, and you'll be golden. So yeah, massive congratulations to Quinblade here for this 12th place finish. In 13th place, another Goku Zeno. We're not going to go too much over this, but this is Antonio Matamoroso. This is another very well-established, great European player, and it should tell you like kind of the caliber of competition when you've only got 46 players and someone as talented as Antonio is back here in 13th. This is a good old Goku Zeno list. There isn't too much different even from like the last list that we looked at, and we've said everything we need to say. The concept rares are in the side deck rather than the main deck, I think, is the biggest difference. And there's these Vegito Z Unisons in the side, which is a little bit of something different. I imagine it's a bit more of like an attrition Z Unison or something that's like a bit more aggressive that can push through like black decks Vegitoing you or yellow decks Nimbusing you. So yeah, congratulations Antonio on a great finish. Now 14th place. 14th place is something that I'm pretty excited to look at. This is Simone Piretti, I believe also of Team Fusion Force, and I believe Simone was the guy who won the Bologna Regional with TN and put TN on the map. I could be wrong about that, but I'm just putting names together. But either way, incredibly talented player to be turning up with White Cell, getting the top cut with White Cell. I believe we saw him on stream as well. Had a tough loss with Ivan, like kind of suffered against Bulma, but you could tell he had a really strong game plan. It was a really close game. And a lot of what his list is doing is quite similar to this new kind of cell trend we've seen at the moment, which is this red package here with Topo, the Android 17, Hellfighter 17, that gives you access to a Floodgate in Topo, and also Bio Broly for clearing the board and floodgating longer. This is a late game deck, sellers. You want to be getting to turn 4 onwards, so you need as many tools as possible to survive the decks before it, like these Goku Zenos and these Red Gogetas. So these are all kind of like very important like inclusions and why we've seen players go towards red. There's some really spicy stuff in here as well. I think a very notable thing is this Panzino SCR. I actually called this on the stream that we might see this. We were also looking out for the white SCR as well. I think the white SCR is absolutely snapped, but I think you get a huge surprise factor from this pan. And as we said, the deck lacks floodgates and lacks a couple of effective ways of playing through stuff like Koitsukai and Dark Power Black Machine. This is a floodgate that doesn't get hit by Koitsukai, just ends their turn on the spot. You will bamboozle people with that because they'll be all siding and playing around the white SCR. We've seen how many white tech cards are in people's lists at the moment, so I think that's a really heads-up play. I really like the inclusion of that SCR. We see Gregory, which is a very interesting inclusion, but often in this list, in this deck, you have to rely on this 1-drop to open. And although if you don't open with it, you literally don't plus, you just discard a card turn 1 and you already start to feel a bit behind. Particularly in those matchups where someone's like opening Dark Power Black Mass Satan against you and you're already like cards down, you're trying to struggle to clear it off the board. So I really like the inclusion of Gregory to dig a little deeper. Otherwise, we've got kind of the standard extra card package. We've got one of the concept rare in here as well, of course. And also this Time Chamber Trunks is interesting. Not my cup of tea personally for the deck, but I can see the value in like a 25k crit swing if it's a leader and draw a card seems valuable. But this does require a white energy, so that is something to bear in mind, particularly when this deck wants to kind of flex into a couple of different colours. But yeah, overall, I'm not going to knock this at all. I think this is a really cool list. I think there's loads of different ways you can go with this cell leader at the moment. It's so much fun to play, and I love seeing all the different ideas kind of like meshed into this list, and the results back it up as well. We saw Simone on stream play this deck to a great skill. So yeah, congratulations to you on the 14th place with a very relatively overlooked leader. Okay, folks, we're almost there. 15th place, Julian Dos Santos. Julian was playing Revived Piccolo up to recently. I believe he mentioned in one of the Discords that he's getting bored of the Dormant Loop, and aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all getting bored of the Dormant Loop? And the way that Greedy's playing at the moment. So he's switched across to Red Gogeta. And this is a really spicy list of Red Gogeta as well. So if you haven't watched the video that Brad has put out about Red Gogeta, this is a completely different take on the list. So 3 concept rares, Videl to back it up, and a bunch of like, you know, the usual free play shenanigans, including this 3-drop Trunks Overwhelm, means that you're getting loads of swings. You're getting loads of like free swings getting played in. And then like basically on turn 3, it seemed like he's quite happy to just like always commit to the concept rare. Do some free playing around it. Like he's not even like, I don't even think you're even free using on turn 3. And just kind of using this as like your push and your win con. The backup with Videl is crazy good. The Trunks is also a really nice filtering option because you can warp one of the pieces, send it back to the drop, do what you need to do with it. Really, really clever deck building. I really love to see this as well. Like, you know, you can go and look at a standard list. I think that'll take you a fair way with Red Gogeta, but clearly some thought and different way of doing it is in here with Julian. So yeah, really love seeing the kind of creative deck building going on here. You'll also notice Beerus super combo instead of 4 or less life Raditz, maybe it is, or whatever it might be. From the other lists, this is early aggression. Like, since this super combo came out, we've seen like red decks that want to aggress early using this. I think this is a really good play as well. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be games where you flip over this Trunks and this Protector of the People and you'll go big sad, you've comboed 5k with your super combo. But for the most part, you'll put a load of pressure on with those early like 3-drop swings with the super combo to back it up as well. So yeah, great result from Julian, congratulations. Last but not least is David Coates with Goku Zeno. I think literally just before I hopped on to record this. Again, Team Fusion Force, I've uploaded a video going through the deck profile, all the ins and outs of this deck. So again, something that will be explained in a lot better detail than I'm going to do it on this video by David. Very similar to what we've already said about Goku Zeno. At the moment, yeah, there's nothing else I've got to say here, guys. Like, go and watch that video, look at the list here. I think this Vegeta is kind of interesting as well, like the one that makes them like drop a card if they untap energy, perhaps like a Respect to Bulma coming on there as well, but it'll be in the video. Go and watch that one. Right, well, there you have it. There is your top 16 from the online regional. I had an absolute blast watching all the games over the weekend that we got to watch. I think that this is my closing thoughts are this is such a wide open meta. You can come up and you can play like your pet decks, like your Ivan's playing like his pet deck over here, Bastion's playing his pet deck. The best decks are not oppressive at the moment. Bulma slightly oppressive, but I think anything with early enough aggro is going to punish this deck. I think that Eos is strong, but not too strong at all. Again, this is the only Eos list in the top 16 being piloted, so you know, either underrepresented or not really putting in like too much of the results. And I think it takes a very good player to sequence out an Eos deck as well appropriately. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you Unga Bunga, the Namekian and the Rose, and you warp their cards, but I think there's a bit more going on with Eos that you've got to consider. It's a very kind of combo-centric deck. So, yeah, overall, guys, we're in a really healthy spot. There's still a couple of the old boogeymen going around, like Panzino, but this is like a really healthy metagame at the moment. I will say that black is a predominant share of things at the moment. So if you look at the pie chart here, Goku Zeno, Panzino, Vegito, there's like a good chunk of that there, which is black. They got some really powerful tools this last set. So like whatever your like favorite black deck is, go and pick it up and see how it works. You know, me, for example, I've been playing a ton of Goku Black. Let's wait for those promos to come out. But yeah, I think if you're looking ahead to Madrid, we're looking at kind of like what you want to do for the meta over there. Um, you got to look out for black. I think red Gogeta is going to be on the rise, and I think particularly aggro decks. So what you're seeing in this big chunk of the pie chart here, red Gogeta and Goku Zeno, they are the decks to look out for because they're going to directly counter Bulma that won the event because they're going to go pretty quickly onto Bulma. So I think a lot of people will be playing these. So can your deck counter these guys and have a decent matchup into Bulma is the question you've got to ask yourself here. I'm not exactly sure what that deck is, but that is your kind of like puzzle to solve for the meta at the moment. I actually feel like green in a certain capacity is really, really well positioned here at the moment. I just don't think many people are playing it. And the reason being is because a lot of green decks are really boring to play because they just rely on having a blocker and dormant and cycle, cycle, cycle. I think there's something to be seen in David's list with Cell. I think that's worth exploring. And yeah, I think like a lot of these decks here will kind of buckle to a dormant. Dormant's really good into Bulma as well, like because you can clear up a couple of the one drops, you can shut down their turn. So like I think green's worth exploring. It's just whether you can stomach playing 6+ rounds of Dormant Simulator. Whether that's going to kind of like support you going into this format. And also your green deck has to have play into Vegito as well. Like Green Boo is super powerful but cannot hack being Vegito whatsoever. It just loses a turn on the spot. So I think you need to have a green deck. Like SS4 Gogeta as well as another deck that really struggles when you get hit by a Vegito. They have to warp all their pieces. They want to play back with 10 drop. So those two like main green decks really suffer under a Vegito. So, look to your green decks that can play under a black Vegito and have good like kind of game into here. And that's why I think Cell's in here. And I think that's probably the direction you want to at least start exploring if you're a green player here and you kind of want to combat what the meta's doing at the moment. So that's my couple of cents, guys. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by, sticking with me for the video. This is my first one back in a while, so I'm really interested to hear what are your thoughts, what do you like about the video, and would you be interested in seeing more of this kind of stuff? I am thinking about doing a couple of commentary videos, a couple of casting over like locals, gameplay, that kind of thing, a bit of analysis there, as well as doing a few more of these like kind of metagame analysis bits, top 16 lists, etc. So hit me up, guys. If you enjoy the content, just let me know, and if you want to see something different, let me know as well. We're very open to a couple of different bits there. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will see you in the next one.